Today, it's Madden NFL football. It's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a... Third and 7 ahead. They'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. With touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Take it in at the 3. And And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Carroll. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they held them to well under 200 yards of total offense, and in today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week, that great creativity and usual productivity.
This one brought in by Aiken. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, it's Gibson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Carroll. And he will have a Cowboys first down as he's able to get 8 yards there.
Awful. So the linebackers are the ones that go out there.
On 3rd and 5. A give to Gibson running right. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
On 1st and 10, Ward going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 23 here. On the year, and the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken at about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change of quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. And he will have a Cowboys first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
I know I'm supposed to be watching the entire field, but right now I'm kind of locked in on the guy calling the plays. Back-to-back, big-time plays for him, including a run on the last one. Right now, he's got to feel really good about his chance of getting into the end zone. Run it, pass it, either way, they have the confidence going right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. With touchdown number 27, that ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown. Touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing, Cook. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. With touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. Taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. They'll start on the ground with Gibson, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 35. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And that is incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this. And really on paper at least a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make...
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click. I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. Now a throw here, hold in. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Turner. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got the 1st down inside the 10, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season, and the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Taken at about the 36. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Going deep for Hopkins. Touchdown, Dolphins. That's caught. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch in the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. On second down now, it's Gibson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's Gibson, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here we go on second and 12. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question, because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 80 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcerless games, and they want that. this could be a candidate for him, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. On second down, it's Gibson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. Green brings it in. And he's brought down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now Cook. Going deep for Hopkins. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Miami. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5. He finds his man, complete. It's Carroll. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gibson.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And as they come towards halftime, it's the Eagles who have the lead in that one.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And to give this time to the tailback.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
On second down now, it's Turner. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And they'll run again. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now...
Get to him.
They face 3rd down. Looking to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll run on 1st down. Gibson. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the sixth time today. This is taken around the 12. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense.
They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And to give this time to the tailback. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to... This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
But he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it's a fumble. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Partner, you know, often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Miami set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And to give this time to the tailback. And the ball is knocked out. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question was the need.
After review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30.
52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's got some space here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll look to throw again. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Carroll.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Cook Operating from the gun. Going deep for Hopkins. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that. And
my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, you know, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they make NFL history with this, their 17th win without a loss. A perfect 17-0 on the regular season. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll finish a less than stellar campaign with a mark of 6-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.